All right, awesome. So welcome everyone at Eight to Great. To start us off, we are gonna have our guest speaker. We have Miss Bryn over here. She has been our title partner for I would say a little over a year now, maybe even longer. You know, time pretty much flew. Not sure what happened. I just turned 30 one day. I woke up and I was 30 already, and my knees hurt. But um and back is hurting a little bit too. I don't know. Maybe I need a better mattress. But she's gonna be going over a little bit of the title clearing process or and everything else that she has to offer, right? Basically, why would we call Brynn? Basically, is what she's gonna be going over. This is something that's gonna be very, very unique for us all to know as tax sale experts, right? You're not just investors, you're gonna be the experts in this. The stuff that Brynn is gonna be telling you about not many people know at all. All right. When I talk about this stuff, like they're like, what are you talking about? Right? You mean get a quiet title, right? No. So there's other options for you. Only the experience, like the very, very experienced people really even know what I'm talking about when we're having conversations. So Bryn's gonna go over that stuff real quick and we're gonna do a little small Q&A. And then we're going to jump into this tax deed extravaganza for week 2. So then I'm going to be diving into all the properties that we have available and everything for you all. And then I'm going to be breaking down, some of that due diligence and everything. And then y'all can ask questions about that too. So without further ado, Bryn, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks so much for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here and I can geek out and talk about tax deeds with everybody else that wants to geek out and talk about tax deeds. So thank you very much. So first of all, happy Thanksgiving Eve to everybody. So as soon as we get done with this, I'm in the kitchen making sides and cooking and getting ready to start for my Thanksgiving. So thanks for letting me have this opportunity to meet with everybody. So a little bit about my background. I started in real estate, was a real estate investor, moved over into title and settlement in '05. So I've been in the title and settlement space for the last 17 plus years. About a year into my excuse me, about a year into my career, I met up with a gentleman in Indiana that was a tax deed attorney. Indiana's a little bit different of a state than the state that I think most of you guys are shopping in, because in your states, the county does the noticing. And in Indiana, there are 92 counties, and 2 counties do the noticing, and the other 90, it's up to the bidder to do the noticing. And so I met this attorney, and he introduced me into the tax lien space and the tax deed space, because all of us on the call should know that each of those words means something different. So by doing that, I really got a taste of the tax lien industry and that community and what it needed. And then at my prior company, we tested a product with the underwriter that we were at, and then really dived into a product that bypasses the quiet title action. Since then, we've grown that. I'm now at a company that is Title and Abstract Agency of America. It is a national title company. And then from that, we have set up a separate company called U.S. Tax Deed Solutions that is fast tracking the insurability of tax deeds. And we're looking to take that nationwide. Currently, we were in 9 states, but you guys are the first to hear this because it happened this morning. We've not been able to take that publicly yet because of it being the day before Thanksgiving, and we wanted everybody to be able to get out to enjoy the holiday weekend. So we have now been accepted into our 10th state today with our underwriter. So we are now in 10 states when we are bypassing quiet title. We are now launched into Arkansas. Arkansas is our newest state. So U.S. Tax Deed Solutions, I'll slowly go backwards. So U.S. Tax Deed Solutions fast tracks the insurability of tax deeds. In the states that require a quiet title action, we will take a deep dive review. We target 10 business days to do the review, and then we will insure that tax deed without the quiet title action. We'll insure you if you're choosing to hold on to the property, like if you're going to do a rehab or you want to hold on to it, because title insurance removes your risk from anybody coming back to vacate the sale. Or if you're going to rehab the property, and then before you're going to turn and then sell it or if you buy the deed and you're wanting then to sell it to your end buyer. That's kind of where the verification product would come into play. And then with title and abstract agency being the title company, then it's a one-stop shop. So not only do we verify your product, but then in return, then we go ahead and we have the ability to close and ensure that transaction, keeping it one seamless process. The verification process, we target 10 business days. The goal is to just go ahead and verify that product. That's what we hope to do. In the event that we feel like something might need to happen, we will do a supplemental noticing at no additional charge, but it could delay you again about 30 days to give them due process. Something we've added at US Tax Deed Solutions is we might do skip tracing, where that will be an additional charge. We explain to you what has happened, what we found, what we feel like it needs to be done. That can be a $500 to a $2,000 roughly fee. We'll let you know what happened or what we feel like you're going to be looking at, and you can decide whether or not you want us to move forward or you don't. It will result in a quiet title. And then we may say, hey, look, this property is really messed up. Here's why it's all messed up. We're going to recommend a quiet title action. Here's the title report. And also we'll recommend an attorney that we have already vetted and maybe have worked out some pre-negotiated pricing on your behalf in order to say, hey, look, you need to do the quiet title action, and then hope at that point in time you'll come back to title and abstract agency for us to handle the closing. So some of the caveats with tax deeds and title insurance underwriters, they see these as high risk properties because in the manner in which they're taken. Many states, the way the statute is written, it's not a foreclosure process. It's done by auction. It's done by publication. With the noticing, they feel that it's a high risk, and that's why they require the quiet title action to be done. Basically, if you're knowledgeable in the industry, you know that quiet title is just one more go around of noticing to everybody that's been noticed. So kind of in a nutshell, if we feel like everything's been handled correctly the first time, why make you go through that again? And we'll go ahead and assume the risk and go ahead and ensure that transaction. That's basically what our process does. We're faster and we're cheaper. I did some research, and nationally, the quiet title action can run between $1,500 and $5,000 for a non-contested quiet title, and can take between 3 to 6 months based on the court docket. Our process, the review, we target 10 business days, and it doesn't matter on the state. Our verification fee is based on value. A $25,000 to $75,000 value, our verification fee is $1,950. So right there, we're kind of like in the middle of the road. And you know, again, this doesn't work for every property because you have to look at your margins and your turn time. But again, when you look at the 3 to 6 months versus 10 to 15 business days, I can get you at the closing table in less than 30 days. You know, those few $100s may or may not, may matter, may not, especially if you have a cash buyer. And with the market being hot like it is right now, your cash buyer may not wait for $1,000 for you to save it for 6 months. So again, that's a decision that you'll make along the way based on your property. But it is a tool that's out there that we have to offer. It's been very successful. We run a 96% success rate in the 16 years that I've had this product between the two companies that I've been with. The new company that I'm at now, we are with a national underwriter. Westcor is who the underwriter is backing us, which to some of you, it may or may not matter. If you deal with a realtor or your buyer, that may matter. I think if you want to write down this again, write down their name. If you want to Google them, take a look at them. Westcor, WESTCOR is the name of the underwriter. They're national. They're up there with the First American, Fidelity, Old Republic. Those are the names that a lot of people know. Westcor is not so much of a name that everybody knows, but they are a national underwriter and they're very well respected in the title insurance world. So that's a little bit about US Tax Deed Solutions. Let me run through the 10 states that we're in. So I kind of give a little bit of highlight about that. Let me run through the 10 states that we're in. We are in Indiana, Michigan, Colorado, Arizona, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, New Jersey, Arkansas. Did I say Missouri? Hold on. Indiana, Michigan, Colorado, Arizona, Missouri, Florida. Sorry, that's the state I forgot. Florida, New Jersey, Mississippi, Alabama, and Arkansas. Yeah, there's my 10 states. And I can make sure that I have my flyer sent out to you guys. If you don't have it already, I can, and I encourage all of you to connect with me on LinkedIn. My legal name is Brenda Flatter. You can find me on LinkedIn. I would love for all of you to connect with US Tax Deed Solutions on LinkedIn, as well as Title and Abstract Agency. That would be, I would love to have more followers on that as I'm growing that avenue and we're trying to make a social media presence. So that's a little bit about US Tax Deed Solutions, and what we can do for you by fast tracking the insurability of your tax deed. And then, as far as Title and Abstract Agency being the national title and settlement services provider, we can provide title reports nationwide for any of your due diligence work that you're doing pre-sale, post-sale, as well as helping you facilitate your closings, whether that be a normal purchase transaction, a refinance. We do, I prefer to call them back-to-back closings. I think the industry likes to call them double closings. I do work with wholesalers. I have a love for the investment world as far as creative transactions that you guys do. I'll do anything I can to keep you legal and to keep you all out of jail. So if I'm telling you no, then it's not gonna happen. Because pink is my favorite color, and I think it looks great with gray. So that's kind of the world that I live in. And so we are very investor friendly. I work with note buyers, and I work with wholesalers, I work with investors, and I work in the default market. We work with the tax lien investors. So there's a lot of transactions that my team sees, and a lot of things that we see, a lot of things that I'm familiar with. So I'm very open to the creativity that you guys come up with, but there is a time where you all get too creative and you just can't do it. And so if I tell you no, we'll play around, but sometimes you have to let me help you.
Brenda, did you say, first, can you repeat your Instagram again? Is that what
Oh,
you
I don't
said?
have Instagram. I do LinkedIn. So my name is Brenda Flatter, and I'm on LinkedIn. And
Okay.
then US Tax Deed Solutions is also on LinkedIn, as well as a Title and Abstract Agency is on LinkedIn.
All LinkedIn. Okay.
All
When you said
LinkedIn.
social media, because I found a title abstract agency, but it doesn't look like it's you. It's somebody else.
Yeah, sorry.
All
Yeah.
right. Just wanted to make
Yeah,
sure.
I'm not much for social media.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right. And also, did you just mention, so an investor listening to this call, right? They can come
Yeah.
to you for if they want to do a wholesale deal,
Mm-hmm.
they can bring their purchase and sale agreement to you and do the
Mm-hmm.
double close.
Yeah, as long as the state allows, as long as the state allows it, because there are some states that require transactional funding, and so
Okay.
if the state says no, you can't, then and I have a couple places in my wheelhouse that I can send them if they need help with transactional funding. But yeah. Mhm.
Oh goodness, it's sounding like a one-stop shop right now. All right, cool.
Well, I haven't even gone down the legal loop. I haven't even gone down the legal path yet, but yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And that's the beauty. When I made the change to this new company, I did this for many reasons. So the other caveat that I have to offer is the Logs Legal Network. We are tied with a law firm that's basically tied in about 32 states. So if there are legal services that are needed, if you need eviction work, foreclosure work, legal documents that are drafted, that kind of thing. There are some ability that we have to offer to where we can provide some of those legal services.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. So, are you at the end? Can we do Q&A now or?
Sure, might as well. I mean, unless there's something that, yeah, it's
All right.
probably better because it's probably what people want anyways.
Right. No, this was awesome because I didn't even know we can come to you for our wholesale stuff. So that was like a light
Yeah.
shining in my
Oh,
head.
and by the way, Joseph, not to like just let you know how much time's gone by, but we've worked together for 4 years.
You and I have worked together for 4 years.
Yeah, because we were at my other company too, and I've been at my new company for about 8 years. So I think we're hovering like 3 or 4 years. I really
Holy
think so.
crap.
Yeah, I
Wow.
think so. I mean, I
I
really
did
do.
not realize
Yeah.
it's been that
Yeah,
long.
I think it's been I mean, it's been, yeah, I think we're coming up on 4. I really do.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Then time has, like I said, I woke up, I was 30 and my knees hurt. Like
Well, I'm not going to tell you how old I am. So,
So I have a few questions for you. And
yeah,
like I
sure.
said,
Let's go with that. Yeah.
so one question that we get a lot is why would a tax sale investor come to you versus doing a title search on their own, or let's just say like checking public record. If they check if we check public record
Hmm.
ourselves, are
Hmm.
we gonna find everything? So what's the difference pretty much?
Okay. That's a very good question because I just told that some of that. I just had this conversation the other day. The beauty about title searches is it doesn't matter how great online is or how technology gets. It's a human and there's going to be a mistake and there's going to be an error. And if it's my error, then I have to own it. And if it's your error, then you own it. So just like that. And things get misindexed all the time. And if you're going to the courthouse, you only know where to go to look, and we know everywhere to go to look.
Awesome. Okay, awesome. So
And so
and you're
based on the
getting
county
insurance.
and based on the court record, you know what I mean? And so that's just it. Like you might go down there and here's the thing too, sometimes I think sometimes people can be penny wise and pound foolish because I've had people go in and do their own search work and then miss the $80,000 lien on a $3,000 lot. And then now their lot's 83,000 and now it's their lot.
Wow. And
Because and one other thing too, a lot of times you guys are going to just do a search like for the liens and you guys don't do a chain of title search.
I love it. I love it. And you are also giving insurance. So it is just the safer option
Yeah.
too.
Well, here's the part, here's my answer B to that. If anybody's ever called a really good attorney, they're probably about 3 to 350 an hour. And whoever's called an attorney, you've probably spent at least 3 hours on the phone with that attorney. So now you're at least $1,000 into that attorney for a phone call, right? The title insurance and the search fee is such a minute number on that to where then it's my claim to defend. It's our, problem to have. And yet if something's missed, if something's overlooked, it's just, again, I think sometimes, again, we're seen as such a commodity when we are really such a necessity in the transactions because of the service that we provide, because we protect your property rights and we're a one-time fee. We're not the homeowner's insurance where you pay it annually and you never use it. You pay us one time and it's good as long as you own the home.
Awesome, awesome. And so I have three more questions and then I'll let you
Mhm.
know, and it can be quick. So the next question I have for you, the price of the title certification, does it vary by property? Um, like how much you're selling the property, or are there any like differences within that?
The only thing that varies with the tax verification fee is if it's a vacant land. If it's a vacant land, $0 to $10,000, we do it for $1,000. Anything other than that, then it's based on the value of the property. So if it's improved property, 0 to 25,000, it's 1450. 25 to 75,000, it's 1950. 75,000 to 200,000, it's 2,200. And then anything over that, I'd have to quote it out for you.
And
And
that's
it doesn't
not
matter by state, it's done by value.
and that's not including other closing costs, correct?
Right. That's not including title and settlement fees. That's the number that you'd want to compare to the quiet title action.
Gotcha. Okay. And then if these are questions that I've been asked, right? So in a sense of it's a property that doesn't qualify, they get their money back?
The only upfront fee, so of that 1450 or of that $1,000, so of the numbers that I just gave you, the how we break it down is the initial review fee is $350. That's non-refundable, but there's nothing else after that. And but what we give you, if we cannot verify the property and we say you've got to do a quiet title, we give you a title report, which is really valued at about $300 anyways. So you really receive, a title report to take to the attorney to do that. So you do receive something of value, but the $350 is non-refundable.
And in some cases, depending on state, you actually have the attorneys that you
Mhm.
can recommend too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect.
And I'm working on that. I want to make sure that whatever state that we're in, if it's not a logs attorney that we have, that I have somebody to go ahead and recommend. It's very important to me that I make sure I find somebody that I've vetted, that I know that if we can't verify it, that I've got somebody to send to you. Now, whether I can get the pricing that I like, but at least I know the attorney's vetted.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And then next is so after a investor wins a property, right? What are gonna be the next steps? They're gonna call you and you're gonna get your title certification process and everything. Now, after that is all finished, what are their options? They can sell the property through you, right?
Mhm.
What if they
Mhm.
want to keep the property? What if they want to keep the property, do short-term rental? Is there another step after getting that title certification? Or can they just take that and just, oh, I have clear title now, or is there like another step?
One or two steps with that. So once you go to deed, you can either do a verification and we wait to sell it to your end buyer, or we can do a verification straight to policy where we insure you, the owner. And then that way it removes the risk of anybody coming back to vacate the sale. You personally have title insurance if you're going to turn it into a rental or if you're going to do a rehab. I mean, I recommend if you're going to do anything to that property before you put the first nail in the drywall, that we verified it, issued you a policy, your risk is removed, it's your property. Then either you put a tenant in it, you rehab it, and then we can figure out what you're going to do with it down the line.
Love that. And my last question, and then if the student anybody else has, and I appreciate you being here on Thanksgiving Eve,
You're
if
fine.
that's a
Oh,
word.
you're good. You're good.
Mass for individuals who are doing mass searches. Let's say, I have 5 properties and I have a realistic chance of getting all 5 properties. As far as pricing on title searches before auction, right? Is there what would you recommend someone on that? Is it going to be the same price as their package deals? What's your recommendation on that?
So on something like that, I 5 is not really a volume number for, unfortunately. Um, and I can talk to them to see like what they're doing. We might recommend a current owner search. That would be just searching the owner of record. So that would be like I'm just searching Joseph, that's who I'm searching.
Mhm.
Versus if I did a 30-year search, I'm going to go back to everybody, before then. Just to let everybody know, I can give you the pricing. A current owner search nationally, I've worked out pricing for $150 plus copies. And a 30-year search nationally is $300 plus copies. And then that's a 3 to 5 business day turn time. I do know you can go and get searches cheaper than that. I know you can. I know you can, but again, what we're doing is stateside. It's an examined product. It's searched by somebody that does something. It's not junked up. It's not showing you the 30 things that are on it that may not have to be. It's a clean, report. I do know that you can get them cheaper. I feel good about the product that we deliver. There a lot of times there's some of that I can give you back into a credit, like if we're moving forward with the policy, you know what I mean? There's some of that I can, maybe apply forward. But as far as, and if they're all in one county, maybe I can see if there's a little bit of a wiggle room with the searcher, but it's really hard on a search report. Now, where it comes into savings, let's say you have, let's say you did the 5 searches and, a specific like in Jackson County in a specific state, and then you go to buy them and then you go to sell them, or you're buying them, we can put them all on one policy. So there are times when you're doing bulk buys where we can save you some money with the closing or the title policy by putting them all on one transaction. So sometimes in bulk deals, when it goes to closing and policies, I can try to help save you money. But sometimes on individual searches, it's a little hard because each property is looked at separately.
So basically, this is a not waste Bryn's time thing. Like this isn't pre-auction, oh, I'm just interested in a few properties, let me contact Bryn. This is more so like, hey, look, I'm under contract maybe even, and I'm trying to get my due diligence done because I'm about to close on this property.
It's not a waste of time. There's not a lot of wiggle room with margins. I mean, I've worked really hard on the pricing with my team. We've sat down and said, okay, look, if you call me and you need a search, I'm going to give you a solid product, and I'm making sure it's just, again, it's what you guys need to pay versus what our expenses are. So that's why I've worked really hard to make sure that when I have a 3 to 5 business day turn time on a report, going back 30 years, because that's how far back we go to insure. Meaning that if you call me and I provide you a 30-year title report for $300 on a property, that if you win that bid and you're looking at it and we know what gets extinguished at the issuing of the tax deed and what's left, you know what to bid. And then what your margins are. And then like, oh, this is what I'm going to insure on.
Okay, so for my students out there, this is if a property is valued at $100,000, okay, and you have $3,000 to work with, you might not want to spend any of your money to go get a title search on that property. You need to have a realistic chance of winning this property, or even better, you found the owner and you literally have this property under contract. All right, you find the owner, you have this property under contract. Remember, I said we're making our own due diligence period. We're not closing on this property without running title. If we're we know we're getting it, it's under contract, we have the money, we're ready to close, we're calling Brent. All right. So just know that. I don't want y'all running, because some people are out there, Brynn, they're just running title searches, title search, title search, title search, and they don't even have a very realistic chance of winning the property at all. So that's what I don't want them doing. I need you to understand, like, these deals need to be, solidified at least over a 75% chance that you're going to get the property. Best case scenario, it's under contract. All right.
And I'm going to jump in one thing. One of the things too that is very interesting are some states, the title search gives you everything that you need, title and municipalities. And then there's some states like Florida that a title search and a municipality search, they're two separate searches. And in Florida, a municipality search takes 10 to 15 business days, and I can't speed that up. So that makes it a little more challenging in the fact that you've got to know what your margins are, because the municipal lien search, that doesn't get extinguished with the issuing of the tax deed. Some things do get extinguished and some do, and some things do not.
And you're not negotiating those municipal liens in Florida either.
Oh, no. Now some, yeah, no.
Yeah, so super important to know. All right, that's some good stuff. Now, anybody else on the call, does anybody else have any questions? I think I answered the very, very important questions that we normally get asked. Anybody else have anything? Raise your hand. Feel free to raise your hand, and we'll just go one by one. Don't be scared. Brynn's not mean, y'all. She's not mean.
I'm not mean.
It's been almost 4 years. She hasn't bit my head off
Yeah.
yet. All right. Well, I think, let me check the chat, make sure I didn't see.
Surely I didn't cover it all. And I can give my email address I can give my email address, my phone number. I mean, and I love to talk title, like talk settlement. I can talk,
They already have it. They already have
do they?
all your
Okay,
info.
okay.
Yeah, we actually have it like in the course. You're in the group chat too, so
yeah, I am on the trans, and every now and again I'll jump in and just remind everybody, because I'll see something and I'll be like, wait a minute, I can do that. So,
Yeah. So no, we definitely they had somebody just asked. I just sent your number out today, I think actually. So
oh, thank you
every
very
once in a
much. And
while, yeah,
yeah.
it's just sporadically. Oh, I just want to
Hmm.
pop. All right, here you go. Here you
Yeah.
go. Here you
Well,
go.
I've got the curiosity real quick. I need to call the guy that is his name. I think his name's Trevor about the mortgage. I need to
Oh.
call him because I think, just even though you're in the industry, you think you know everything, or I mean, I don't think I know everything because I'm always willing to learn, but I'm thinking I figure out what that guy has about that secret thing about the mortgage.
Oh yeah, that mortgage interest cancellation is that's a big deal. I mean, saving
Oh,
so much
mortgage.
money.
And okay, I'm gonna have to call. Okay, I'm gonna call him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simone, what's up? Simone raised her hand. So
Oh,
Hey.
talked
Hi,
before. Hi.
I
Bren.
guess you
How are
had to be
you?
there. All
Yeah,
I know. Well, we've talked. I've never seen her. I mean, we've just,
yeah,
talked. So
yeah. Thank you so much,
what
Bren.
you
I know
got? What you got for me?
nothing, girl. I was just talking. I was talking to my son about you earlier, but okay. So the other day when I called you, I know you were
Yes.
running into an appointment,
Oh,
but
yes.
I wanted to clarify because I heard you say tonight that you are you can do business in 10 states, but when we spoke, you said you're nationwide. So I don't know if there's a difference. Can you tell me what the
Okay.
difference is?
Sure. Sure. So nationwide, I can do title reports nationwide. I can handle title and closings nationwide. The fast tracking of insurability for tax deeds. So the tax deed verification where I can bypass quiet title, I can do that in 10 states as of now, but we're actively wanting to grow it. So if you have a tax deed that you're wanting us to insure without the quiet title action, I can
Mhm.
only do that in 10 states.
Okay. So when you're talking
But
about
yeah.
taxes, but
Mm-hmm.
okay. And then the thing that we were talking about was a wholesale deal. You can do
Yes.
that
Yes.
nationwide.
Yes. Because you called me about I think it was in Tennessee, correct?
Yeah, it was. Uh-huh.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And then
But
I had
but again,
another.
and I'm going to keep encouraging you guys to keep calling me or emailing me because there's other states that are on my want list for the verification, and I'm having conversations with the underwriter, and we're having meetings, and to try to get them to add more states as we grow. And plus that's why I'm also asking you guys to connect with me on LinkedIn, or send me an email and I'll add you to my database, or because that way I'm part of US Tax Deed Solutions. That way, as I'm marketing and I'm sending out my things, my announcements, that I can keep you guys abreast as well.
Awesome. And one more thing, I know you provided an awesome 30-year search on my tax lien for Alabama.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You.
Thank you.
So with that though, I didn't follow back up with you. I did find that there were a lot of liens
Mhm.
or lien documentation that went back 30 years or right in that frame.
Mhm.
Now, if those liens are reported
Mhm.
as having, does that mean that they're still active and effective, or it's just that there's documentation that there were liens and that needs to be researched further to see if those liens are still on that property?
Okay. I'm going to talk in a general term because I don't know about that property specific without looking at that title report.
Okay.
But more than likely, if we did a search on a property and it had anything listed, shows what is currently attached to that property. Now,
Ooh.
yeah, that's currently. Now, however, some of the things that happen is, let's say, if something was on there that could have been misindexed, if that was from a tax sale, when you get into things that may have attached to there by a person, or if somebody was entitled as husband and wife and it was there by the wife and not the husband, and we just need to go in and do like a deeper dive, or if we have a social security number or a date of birth. So that's where some of this is why searches are very important, you guys, because of what you're looking at. And here, this is Joseph. This is going to go back in more in depth to the question you asked earlier. When you guys are doing a search, you may see something that attaches to the property or doesn't attach to the property, but I'm going to see it differently because how the deed is vested is also going to matter of what attaches. For instance, and again, I don't just bear with me on this one. So Joseph and Simone are husband and wife on title, right? And Simone goes out and racks up a bunch of debt as Simone, as a single lady. None of that's going to attach, okay? But if Joseph and Simone buy a property together, and then Simone goes out and racks up a bunch of debt, it's going to attach to everything Joseph and Simone own together because of how they've taken title. So again, when you guys are out there doing your search work, you know, on the property and who owns it, it's also how they've taken title to whether something sticks. Because there are times where searchers will show that Simone has added liens to a property, but it doesn't affect it because they took title as husband and wife. And here's one of the biggest secrets that I'll tell all of you. The minute any of you get divorced, get that person off your deed. Because you're no longer husband and wife. I'm just saying, get your husband or wife, whoever, off that deed. But I'm just, that's a little tidbit. Has nothing to do with tax deeds, but I'm saying, think about it. Because when somebody how you take title will affect how a lien attaches to the property. Now, also a big factor is when you have a search done and you've got a John Smith, John R. Smith, and then you go in, you've got, 100 things attached. Well, then we'll go back and find out, do we have his date of birth? Do we have the last four of his social? So then we can try to, remove some of the things that are attached to the, attached to the property.
100%. And
yeah.
now,
Huh?
I was gonna say, now we don't even recommend, if you're married, get the property in one person's name. That way the other person can go get another property. So we're kind of dividing and conquering. That's what we teach anyway. So that's the new strategy.
Well, but Simone, if you want to call me on Monday or get back with me or shoot me an email and say, hey, look, because I mean, if just tell, and I'll look at it and I'll tell you, yeah, this all attaches. Because you bought it on a tax deed, correct?
I actually bought it on a tax. I bought a tax lien. We have some time. It expires May of 2024.
Okay.
But what I'd like to review with you is just to see what might. I don't know if you could tell me what might survive tax deed.
I can. And see, okay, see right there. See, Simone, this is a very key thing that I think all of your students need to know too, Joseph, if they don't already. There's a key 2 words that matter on how I will answer a question. If you're asking me about a tax lien or a tax deed. So if you have a tax lien, Simone, and you had 30 items on your report, that stuff's all showing because a tax deed has not been issued yet. Because the minute that tax deed is issued and it's recorded, many of those items are going to be extinguished and many of those things will be removed. And then we can show you what's going to survive.
Oh, fantastic.
And just for conversation pieces, mortgages get extinguished, home equity lines get extinguished, seconds get extinguished, judgments get extinguished, mechanics liens get extinguished. What usually doesn't, anything government, municipal liens, water, sewer, IRS, federal tax liens. Usually the government, county, they get paid, everybody else doesn't. That's just a general guideline.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So I'll send you an email. I'll forward you back the email you sent me with my documents, and then we can set up a time on Monday.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bren.
Absolutely. Okay. Oh, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too.
Awesome. So that was powerful stuff. And then real quick, the last thing that I want to throw out there, because we do have a lot of people getting lien positions in Alabama and stuff. So Alabama, lien period ends, you are now deed, and then you still have another 3 years in that deed period before getting title certification, correct? Or even quiet title, right? So in that 3-year period, they have to go and do ejectment or hope that the homeowner will pay them rent. Correct. Okay. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Alabama. Alabama's a beast. It's
but still worth it, y'all. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
yeah,
there's some
yeah,
really good property in Alabama.
yeah, yeah. And
That
then,
is
and I'm, and you know, and I'm actually still going to Alabama school, is what I call it, because I'm going back to meet with some attorneys here in the next couple of weeks, because the Alabama rewrote their statute, and they have the new, so there's like two statutes and two kind of tracks, I guess, to go through. But you are correct. Once you go to deed in Alabama, then, because I think it's a 3-year redemption period, and then what, through the lien, then once you go to deed, then you have a 3-year redemption for the owner of record to come back, and then
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
you
very
are,
different, very different process, but still lucrative investment.
for
Um,
sure, for sure.
out there. Properties are much cheaper. So,
Yeah, yeah.
well, that was awesome. Do you have any last things to put out? I don't think anybody else has any questions, but this was
No, yeah, if you don't need me for anything else, I thank you again for having me on. I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. You've got my phone number. Again, please connect with me on LinkedIn or US Tax Deed Solutions. And anytime anybody needs anything, just reach out. If I don't answer an email or a phone number, just give me a little bit. I call everybody back and I return every phone call. So just give me a few days or a few minutes, not even days, just give me a few hours and I'll reach back out to you. But I'm so excited to be a part of this group. I love the energy. I love seeing the encouragement that everybody gives, and it's just exciting to be a part. So thank you.
wonderful, wonderful. We like having you. Bryn, do you have a YouTube channel or anything?
Now you know what, you and somebody else have been on me about doing that, and maybe I'll make that a 2023 goal.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you should. I mean, oh my goodness, there's so much. You mentioned getting better, bigger with social media.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you could definitely take over.
Oh,
Yeah, you could take over.
thank you.
Um, what was
Yeah,
I gonna
thank you.
say? So yeah, you got me. I'm gonna have to download LinkedIn again. I left LinkedIn because I just really wasn't using it for anything.
Yeah.
But that was awesome. It was very thorough. I think a lot of people got a lot from you. So
Oh, I hope so. And again, and if anybody wants to reach out to talk about their personal business or a specific state, or want to know when I'm going to go into another state, or we can talk about why I won't go into a state, that kind of thing, I'm more than happy to do that.
all right, awesome. So y'all, I'm gonna stop the recording just so I can separate